Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching a quick comparison of the Realme C3 with the Xiaomi's Redmi 8A. The Xiaomi's Redmi 8A basically was one of the best phones under 8,000 rupees. When we reviewed it, I had called this as the best because of what it offered. It was a complete package with the high efficiency battery, a good design, a decent chipset and quite a good display as well, the HD plus resolution. Now Realme has come up with the Realme C3 which has quite a good competitive spec sheet again, and the main thing here is the processor. Let's talk about every aspect of it. Firstly, starting with the design, both have the plastic back. There's nothing different to expect here. It is a plastic back combination, but again the difference here is with how they look. The Redmi 8A had its own way of showing off the back with that center slit having the design by Xiaomi branding, also the Redmi branding there, and it was a separate circumcised area with the pattern towards the sides of it. Now Realme has come up with its own design with something like a sunshine from a particular area. All the gradient design would come out, and this comes out in again different colors. So there's quite some difference. Again, it depends on your personal preference on which one would you prefer. Otherwise, both actually look good, and since they're plastic, there's no difference. Even the frame on the side is a plastic one, so there's no difference there as well. Now with the display, actually the Realme C3 is larger than the Redmi 8A because the Redmi 8A came with a 6.22 inch HD plus display, while the Realme C3 now has a 6.52 inch display. So it's quite larger with a 0.3 inch of difference, and it's still the same resolution or the HD plus resolution in the case here, but it's 720 into 1600 pixels, a bit taller than the 720 into 1520 pixels on the Redmi 8A. With the pixel density, it's not hugely different, but with the protection here, it's a Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the Redmi 8A, while it's a Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the Realme C3. So if you're someone who's really having those things in the mind, whether this generation is better than that, the Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the Redmi 8A is going to be better than the Gorilla Glass 3 on the Realme C3. With the chipset, there's quite a bit of a difference. The Realme C3 has come in as a good upgrade because it comes with the Helio G70 chipset from MediaTek. The G series was known for gaming. So basically this is a low level chipset or an entry level chipset for gamers. So if you're someone who's considering a budget phone, still wants to see some gaming capabilities for a smartphone, the G70 would come in that equation, and the G70 is obviously better than the Qualcomm Snapdragon 439 that is powering the Redmi 8A. With the benchmark scores, this is not surprising, but if you're someone who don't really know how much the scores are, here are the scores. The benchmark score of the Redmi 8A was about 75,000, while it's more than double on the Realme C3. It's 1,92,000. So this chipset is quite capable of a few things, or handling some pressure on gaming. You'll be anyway checking out our gaming review on the channel. And for the GPU, it's Adreno 505 GPU on the Redmi 8A, which in a way Xiaomi or even Qualcomm hasn't really concentrated on the gaming part here. So the Adreno 505 GPU is quite a basic one. On the other side, the Mali G52 GPU on the Realme C3 is quite a good one. So it does handle some mid-level gaming tasks, and it's capable of doing those games like PUBG Mobile. Though you won't find huge settings in the graphic options, but still it's going to do a better job when you compare that with the Snapdragon 439. With the options available, while the Redmi 8A came in with the base option of 2 plus 32 and then 3 plus 64, here what you see is the Realme C3 coming in with the base option of 3 plus 32, with the Realme official saying that now 2 GB is not something that you would want to see in the latest Android updates, and even with the apps getting bigger and bigger, the usage as well as the storage need to be upgraded. So the base here is 3 plus 32, while you also have an option of 4 plus 64 GB. Both have a dedicated micro SD card slot, so no difference in that aspect, while the wireless FM radio is present on the Redmi 8A. Let's talk about the interface as well. It's MIUI 11. Xiaomi has considered that thing, and they have offered the latest update on the Redmi 8A, but in this case, it's not based on Android 10. So that's the major difference. The Realme C3 comes with Android 10 based Realme UI. This is the first phone from Realme to have the Realme UI out of the box. So it's Android 10 based Realme UI, and although there are other phones, the previous phones getting the update, this is the first one that would be sold with Android 10 based Realme UI out of the box. So that's one thing. The interface anyway differs in quite a few ways, and it depends on your personal preference on which one you would like. There's no difference with the security options. Both have face unlock. There's no fingerprint sensor here. With the battery capacity, Realme has now matched the Redmi 8A, so both the phones have a 5000 mAh battery, but Realme still lags behind when we talk about the fast charging capability. The Redmi 8A probably is the only phone under 10,000 rupees, not under 10,000, basically under 8,000 rupees to offer 18 watt fast charge, because the Redmi Note 8 as well had the same. this one has the 18 watt fast charge support, while the Realme C3 comes with a 10 watt fast charging. It's basically the normal charge, but again, for a 5000 mAh battery, if 10 watt is going to take about 3 to 4 hours of time, the 18 watt is going to take about 2.5 hours to charge the phone fully. So that's an advantage for the Redmi 8A. But with the battery, we'll be doing the battery drain test and also the charging test for you to see how much time each phone takes to charge from 0 to 100 and how much time do these batteries have their endurance. So you'll have to stay tuned for those videos as well. Apart from that, the camera combination here is a 12 megapixel camera as a primary one on both the phones, but you know that the Sony's sensor on the Redmi 8A was capable of doing some pretty good photography. On the other side, Realme considered that we should have a depth sensor here. So there's an f2.4 depth sensor given here, while the primary cameras on both the phones have the same f1.8 aperture. The depth sensor in some ways might help in some scenarios when you want to do those portrait shots. The Redmi 8A does have that portrait option, but it would be totally software dependent. On the selfies aspect, it's an 8 megapixel camera on the Redmi 8A, while it's an 5 megapixel camera on the Realme C3. So there are those major differences between the Realme C3 and the Redmi 8A, and they both are quite decent phones. In some ways, the Realme C3 is better than the Redmi 8A. In some case, it's the other way around. So with the battery, it's going to be almost the same, but the fast charge is better on the Redmi 8A. The camera, we'll have to test them out. We can't actually say which one is better than the other. With the performance, surely the Realme C3 is going to be a better one. With the display, again, it's LCD displays. The size is bigger on this one, so it depends on which display you want to go with. And with the design, again, it's a personal preference. So that's it in this video. Stay tuned for the camera comparison of this phone, the comparison of the performance, and also the battery comparison of these phones if you want to go detailed into those aspects. And I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.